What is going on, YouTube? Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be going over the basics on outpost building. You can see my outpost behind me, and we're going to be going over all the things you need to know on how to get started with your outposts in Starfield. So first and most important, I feel like, would be to track the resources that you actually need. So we're going to go into the outpost building menu, and I guess you'd have to build an outpost just to do this, but we're gonna go to Outpost Building. We're gonna open up the building menu, and you can see in the top left corner that we need tungsten, iron, aluminum. Also, we would need nickel and copper to build these extractors. You want solar arrays, you're gonna need aluminum, beryllium, copper. So now what we're going to do is, what I did was I went to every single item in the build menu and clicked X next to them when I was highlighted on them. And what that does is it brings up the magnifying glass next to the item in the top left corner. And what that means is when you're in the world or when you're looking at traders' inventories, the resources that you're looking for are going to have a magnifying glass next to them, making your job easier, knowing what you actually need and what you don't need for right now. Learning what resources were important was a daunting task, but once I got through building my initial outpost here, I started to get an idea on what resources were actually important for building outposts, and the rest would be for crafting. Now, what we're going to do is we have applied the track for all of the things that we want to build. So everything we want to build, we're tracking the resources for. Now that we've done that, we're going to find the planet. Well, you had to go out and get your resources. Go out and get those. So next you're going to find the planet that you want to build on, or you want to possibly find the resources that you're actually looking for. Now, a good planet to build your initial base on, it's actually a moon. I've been told that's a lot of what new players are using in the early days, which I like so far, is the moon Androphon, the moon of Sumati, which is located in the Narion system. So we're going to go to Narion, search for the planet Sumati, and look for the moon Androphon. Now that we're there, a quick scan of the planet shows that we can find iron, helium, aluminum, but also if you look at the resource on the left, you'll see europium, helium, as well as the aluminum, iron, and beryllium. Now what we're going to do is you're going to pick a place on the planet that looks like maybe you could possibly access all three of the aluminum, iron, and beryllium. That's going to be difficult, but somehow I was lucky enough to find a spot with 4 resources on one spot. So now I'll show you that as well. We're going to go back to our outpost. It's funny, since I'm carrying too much, I can't fast travel. I'm already there. Bring out your scanner. To build an outpost, you're going to bring out your scanner, and I don't want to do this while I'm in range of my outpost. We're out of distance now, I should be able to do it. Now, clicking X will bring out the outpost beacon, and if you look in the top left corner, you can see the available there it is, the available resources of this area. You can see that I found aluminum, helium, and beryllium, but as you move it around, you're gonna see that you can't actually find all of them everywhere you go. Oh, there's your europium. So use the marker, the beacon here, to scan for resources rather than using your actual scanner, because you're gonna look on the ground. Okay, here I have aluminum. Where can I find something else? You're gonna be scanning. Okay, here's iron on the rocks. That means I should be able to find it's aluminum. You're gonna be looking forever trying to find something like this. So what I found, best way, use the beacon and you can find the resources that you're looking for. Now we have the resources. You found the planet you want to build on. Let's get started building. We're going to open up the Outpost Building menu. You can go bird's eye. You don't have to, but I prefer it. What we're going to do is we're going to look for extractors. I've built this helium extractor right here, and as you can see, there is an output line attached to it. For educational purposes, we can hover over this line, delete it by pressing and holding the X button. We also need these power solar arrays to generate power for the extractors to work. You can see in the bottom right corner of the screen that a total power is 30. I've also placed some solar arrays on top of my little habitats right here. So I got solar arrays on top of there. We got some there. You don't need to put a wire to them. They're wirelessly powered. We're gonna go. We have our extractor. We have our power. And now we are going to build a storage unit for all of these resources we're going to be building, or we're going to be acquiring. So here's where I've built my storage containers. These are solids, liquids, and these are for gases. I'm going to go back to the extractor. I'm going to press the right trigger, and that is going to bring up the output line, and we're going to connect this to the storage container. Now, all of the resources that are extracted by the helium extractor are going to be placed inside this storage container. I've used an output line to connect it to this container as well. That way we have a funneling effect. When this one fills up, it's going to transfer to this one here. And this one is connected to an output link. Now we're going to talk about the output links. In perfect timing, we have a cargo hauler dropping down on our cargo link to bring all of these resources that we've been acquiring through this cargo link, through the hauler, to our other resources. I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. As you can see here, we have our resources building up in the outgoing section. And we even have iron being dropped off from the other outpost as well. Now, when we go to build, we're gonna have all the iron we could possibly need, as well as all the other resources being collected here. On top of the helium, I also have, that's our beacon. We have europium, helium, beryllium, aluminum, all being extracted at this one outpost. And I'm going to show you how to bring them. I'm going to show you how to use cargo haulers to link your outposts together. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Outpost Builder menu. Under miscellaneous, we have a cargo link. That's what I've built right here. You only need one of them. I also like to build the transfer container, but we'll talk about that later. Now, like I was saying before, we have the storage containers with output links connected to the outgoing section of the cargo link. I've also used I also have other containers here connecting to the incoming section. I wonder if it would be a good idea to connect these together. Now everything is gonna like funnel back into each other, so my resources don't get stuck in here. I'm gonna try that out. I'll let you know how it goes. You can try it out too. So I know there's a lot of red lines going on here, but we've got the extractor bringing resources to the storage container to overflow container, and we have container bringing resources to the cargo link. At that point, you should have resources building up in your outgoing section. And what we're going to do is we're gonna walk over to this control console, not in the Outpost Building menu. You don't have your scanner open for this. Pressing A will open up the linked Outpost menu, and from here, you can link or unlink your different outposts and tell the cargo hauler where to stop to drop off resources and where to pick up your resources at. This is a lot similar to the system in Fallout 4 where settlers could bring supplies from one settlement to the other. You will be required to unlock a perk to allow your cargo haulers to travel to other planets. I'm sorry, to other star systems. Right now, the cargo haulers, without any skill upgrades, or I should say, any of your skills being upgraded, can only travel through one star system from one to another. But with a upgrade in skills, you'll be able to send them to different star systems. So we've got resources being sent to the storage containers and into the outgoing cargo link, and now it's time to talk about the transfer container. Transfer container here is very simple. This allows you to be able to access the resources from your outpost while you're on your ship. So we're gonna go to the ship. We're gonna go to my inventory. We're gonna go to resources, and I have 58 iron on my person. All right, now that we're back at my other outpost, which is the iron mine, these are all iron extractors, where I have an abundance of iron left over. All of it is going into these containers and to the cargo link. Anything incoming is going into these and to the transfer container. In this transfer container, we have beryllium, iron, and aluminum. Maybe we should actually put some iron through there as well. So we see here that we have beryllium, iron, and aluminum on the transfer container. And by going to our ship's cargo hold, you can do that in the start menu or in the cockpit itself. We can grab resources from the outpost and put them directly into the cargo hold. 171 beryllium. This iron is not going to be on my person. Again, we have, just to show you, we have 58 iron in the inventory on my person. Pressing start, go to ship. At your ship, press X. That's going to bring up the cargo hold of your ship. Left bumper goes to our inventory. Left bumper again is the outpost itself. And we're going to take all that iron out. We've actually filled the cargo hold of the ship with iron. And we'll see that my inventory only still has 58 iron. And if you look at the inventory of the ship, we're gonna look at the cargo hold, resources, aluminum, 347 aluminum. We're looking for iron. 215 iron right onto the ship without having to walk the resources yourself. And as you can see here, they're gone. They're not in here any longer. It's filled up with different resources now. So we got europium, beryllium, iron, aluminum, all being exchanged throughout all of our outposts, ready to be picked up at any time for any crafting you might have required, or for any crafting it might be required for. Here we have europium, beryllium, and aluminum, all coming from the other outpost. Again, this is our iron mine. It took me a solid few hours of gameplay dedicated to working out the ticks between this operation here and trying to figure out the easy way. I shouldn't say the easy way, the best way to go about doing all this. This is only the beginning. This is basic tips and tricks for what I'm gonna do moving forward. Is I'm gonna try and find outpost that I can generate some tungsten, copper, and things like that from. So if we're looking at resources, we have basically everything that you might need besides copper, tungsten, lead, benzene. Basically everything else we're harvesting on our own, or we are going to be able to purchase quite easily. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing for more.